previously in the past, and I'm not referring to myself, I never offered the guaranteed sale program, but there's multiple agents that have, because that's what they were trained to do, right? They got in the business. Somebody said, hey, you should offer a guaranteed sale program. You should broadcast that on the radio and everywhere else. And if you didn't do the variation of, your home sold or I'll buy it, you offered the no hassle listing agreement, or your home sold in 30 days, or the commission is free. But let's say it's an agent out there that says, you know what, I do feel like I'm bait and switching my clients, and I want to change my approach. What would your advice be for those people that are kind of taught, they were taught one thing, and now we're completely talking about something that is going 180 degrees in the opposite direction?
The first thing you have to do is you have to make the decision to do everything entirely different. And so one of the things that I always recommend is, here you have this industry that has this negative and massive reputation and stereotype of unethical, undertrained, overpaid. Why would you want anything to do with that positioning? And so the phrase that I use is de-link and disconnect. De-link and disconnect. Okay? In a negative reputation industry, the most powerful thing that you have is the truth. If it's bait and switch, call it bait and switch, write an article why it's bait and switch, and then give that to everybody that you might do business with. So now, let's say you're interviewing. I don't recommend interviewing. I don't recommend competing at all. I go with the Peter Thiel idea of creating a monopoly for who you are and what you do, the dominant personality, and it comes from a message. Okay, but you publish that truth and you give it to people. And now other agents come in and they go, well, I got this guaranteed sale program. And client John and Barb Smith, oh, Ryan warned me about this. Yep, bait and switch. I can't trust you. Low character, low moral integrity. You're out. That's how easy it is to beat these people. It's not that hard if you realize in a negative reputation industry, the truth is your greatest superpower. And so that's what I would recommend is de-link and disconnect, make the decision to do things differently, and then publish the truth about all of the different ways in which homeowners are routinely taken advantage of, victimized, horror stories. But this gets back to the newsletter. If you want ratings, if you want readers. So here is what is described in the book. Fox News is watched by true believers. And so the people who listen to this podcast, they're most likely hardcore fans of Ryan Fletcher. In the same way that there are Glenn Beck fans, or there are Hannity fans, or there are Rush Limbaugh fans, or if you go onto the liberal side, there's Rachel Maddow fans. I like the way this guy thinks. I like the way he thinks. I like the way she thinks. And so if you want to create that for your own business, a great study would be, how did Roger Ailes do it? Okay, Fox is watched by true believers. Ailes built Fox into an entire political universe, but ultimately it's the expression of one man with all of his obsessions and idiosyncrasies, everything he'd absorbed. Roger is Fox News. Without him, you don't have it. Every single element of the network is by design. He's not just an executive. He understands how to drive a message.